It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Yeah, I'm a bit sleepy again today. Yesterday was the second day of super crazy hot weather, and I did not sleep so well last night, but I'm gonna power through this because I need to provide you with content. Edutainment content. Please go rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you can do that. Email me, dictionarypod@gmail.com. Tell me whatever you want. One thing that you can email me about is a joke for any word through the end of the alphabet. Starting from whenever you're hearing this, go ahead and email me a joke, and then I will... you're hearing this, I'm probably going to be ahead. So let's say maybe like the ends of the end of the E's or the F's all the way to the end. Email me the joke. I will make sure to say it when I get there. And I'll credit you however you want me to credit you. Just give me your name. Your real first name is good. Social media at dictionarypod on Instagram and Threads and X, and I'm thinking about maybe just being totally done with X because, reasons. What else? Patreon. The link is in the show notes. You can do as little as $1 a month. That'll get you early episodes. At the time of recording, which is 7:01 a.m. on August 25th, 2023, there are 19 episodes up on Patreon. And so, what number is this episode? I don't know, 40 or 50 or something. Merchandising, there is a link. You can buy a shirt with a logo on it and some other things. I want to make more things to put up there on that thing. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take a look at all of my very weird and random videos up there, including home movies and backwards talking. And my personal social media is at Speejampar, Spejampar. Did I do all the things? Let me know. The links and the things and the Google Voice number, 917-727-5757. Call it and leave a message, and then I'll put it in an episode if you're okay with that. On with the show. The first word in this episode is electrometallurgy. Electro, METALLURGY, electrometallurgy. This is, I guess the British people say electrometallurgy. Yep, sounds about right. This is a noun from 1840. A branch of metallurgy that deals with the application of electric current either for electrolytic deposition or as a source of heat. So we did learn back in the electrodeposit section that one of the things that you're depositing could be metal. That's one of the options. And so electrometallurgy, it's a type of metallurgy that deals with the application of electric current either for electrolytic deposition or a source of heat. So I guess you can heat things up, probably heating metal, so you can warm your little toasties. Toast your little fingies? Is that what I was trying to say? I don't know. That's electrometallurgy. The sound effect will be... Next is electrometer. Electrometer. Noun from 1749. Any of various instruments for detecting or measuring potential differences or ionizing radiations by means of the forces of attraction or repulsion between charged bodies. Ooh, these bodies are charged. So what type of instruments that they detect or measure differences or ionizing radiation by means of the forces of it. So, again, with like the whole static electricity thing, the balloon on your head, whatever it is, that's going to charge up these bodies, these electrons, these ions, something like that. And so an electrometer, I think, is just going to like read the level of whatever, the level of attraction, the level of chargedness, the level of static, the level of electricity, something like that. Let's put a link in the show notes. Let's put a link in the show notes for electrometer. Hey, hey. Next is electromotive force. 2 words, electromotive. Noun from 1827. Something that moves or tends to move electricity, especially the apparent force that drives a current around an electrical circuit, and that is equivalent to the potential difference between the terminals of the circuit. This is the thing that's making electricity move? Is that what it's saying? Moves or tends to move electricity. What's the force? What's the force that makes electricity moving? Interesting. Is it not electricity that's its own force? What is the force? Do we know for sure that this exists? Is this a theorized force? Let's do a quick little search, make sure that it's real. Electromotive force, because I'll put a link in the show notes so we can. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, there was a formula. Let's go back for a second. E equals W over Q. E is the electromotive force, which is the work done divided by the charge. So the work that's done, I don't know how you measure these things, but the work done, you divide that by the amount of charge that I guess it took to do the work. That is the electromotive force. It's a mathy thing. It's a math problem. There's a whole lot more information. Yeah, I'll put a link in the show notes. Next is electromyogram. So this is another one of those situations where we have gram and then graph. I have not heard of this one. Electromyogram starts with electro and then it's spelled M-Y-O-G-R-A-M. Noun from 1917. A tracing made by an electromyograph. What? Electromyograph? Electromyograph is a noun from 1948. Okay? Again, I'm confused. Why? Now, it must have to do with the first time that this word has been written down in literature somewhere. But I do believe, let's see. Yes, electroencephalograph was 2 years after electroencephalogram, and electrocardiograph was 9 years after electrocardiogram. How does the instrument not exist in literature before the tracing that instrument creates? Electromyograph is the biggest difference of them all. 29 years, I think, after electromyogram. What? What does the electromyograph do? It is an instrument that converts the electrical activity associated with functioning skeletal muscle into a visual record or into sound, and is used to diagnose neuromuscular disorders and in biofeedback training. Whoa, okay. Converts the electrical activity associated with the functioning. So your skeletal muscle, the muscle on your skeleton, creates electrical activity. I mean, your brain is constantly, it's all electricity. It's creating electricity, sending that through the nerves. I mean, that's kind of what we're made up of, what makes us go. And so, if you get shocked, you might go, you might move. So that's, it's sending a lot of electricity through your body. So this thing is going to convert that electrical activity from your muscle into a visual record or into sound? What does that sound like? Do I need to find an example and put in a sound clip? And what's the point of that? Why would you want to hear the sound? I mean, it sounds interesting. Is there a practical purpose for that? It's used to diagnose neuromuscular disorders. So, I think they can like do the control experiment where they put this machine on somebody who's quote unquote normal with their muscles, and then they can compare that to somebody who seems like maybe they have some neuromuscular issues, and then they can see the tracing of it, or maybe it's going to sound different. And so they can say, yep, this is what normal looks like. This is what you look like. And I want to talk about the word normal. I don't remember what I was listening to, some podcast, and they were talking about this idea of normal for whatever context. And, I have issues with the word normal. Like, oh, what's normal? Does that mean that, like, oh, if there's somebody who's abnormal, somebody who's different, or in something is different than normal? The idea of normal is just the average amount of people. Oh, I know what I was listening to. I think it was the podcast Taboo Science, and they were talking about periods, the menstrual cycle. So specifically the whole 28-day thing. 28 days is considered quote-unquote normal for a period. Every 28 days it happens. But that's just the average. There's the bell curve. If you're looking at this on Patreon, I'll go backwards for you. Whoop. And so the majority is in this area, and they're going to be, 28 days, give or take maybe a day. But then there's all these people on the ends that are a lot less than the average amount of people right there in the middle. But that doesn't mean that they're different or weird or abnormal. There's just a whole range of possibilities. And so, for years, people were thinking like, oh, I'm weird, I'm not normal. But like, no, it's just, you're just not, the average. And so this idea of normal, I've been thinking about that a lot of, there's a whole range of what's normal. There are probably things where you get into the range of like, that's not normal, that's not how it should be, that is a problem. If it becomes a problem, that's a whole other thing. But we're all normal. It's just, are you average? That's, I think, where the word normal comes with such connotations of like, if you're not normal, you're not good. But screw that. Anyway, so we were talking about neuromuscular disorders. The electromyograph can diagnose that stuff, and biofeedback training. That sounds interesting. Electromyographic is an adjective. Electromyographically is an adverb, and electromyography is a noun. Now, it just says this is from the electra prefix plus the my prefix, and then graph. But I don't know what the my prefix is, literally my. I'm going to guess that that's related to muscles. Maybe they couldn't do mu because there's an O. I don't know. It's got to be related to muscles in some way. I guess. Yeah. That would make sense. Are there any my Bologna? Next is electron. This is a noun from 1891. I guess that was when it was first put into some sort of English literature, because electrons, they've been around a while. This is an elementary particle consisting of a charge of negative electricity equal to about 1.602 times 10 to the negative 19 coulomb, C-O-U-L-O-M-B, and having a mass when at rest of about 9.109 times 10 to the negative 31 kilograms, or about this is a small number. It's a fraction of a proton. It's 1 over 1,836. So it's 1,836th of a proton. And a proton is also incredibly tiny. I'll try, maybe I can write out those numbers. 1.602 times 10 to the negative 19th coulomb. I need to remind myself what a coulomb is. I feel like because I have this computer here, it would probably be quicker and be more accurate if I just looked it up instead of going back through these pages. Where's the... I gotta go 1 page back. No, 2 pages back. Yeah. Coulomb. What is this? It's the practical meter kilogram second unit of an electric charge equal to the quantity of electricity transferred by a current of 1 ampere in 1 second. So yeah, it's an amount of electric charge. And so, these electrons, they're super small, super tiny. We're all atoms are help to be made up of them, and so are we. And then the other one is 9.109 times 10 to the negative 31 kilogram. It's a very small kilogram. I wonder, is there an actual term, a gram, like not a nanogram, not a milligram, but is there a term for something that small? Anyway, what I want to do is put a link in the show notes for electrons so you can go learn more about that, because those things are crazy, I think. We always see the visual of them going around the outside of the atom, or the edge of the atom. But I think that that's inaccurate. I've heard that it's a visual representation that's not right. So what's the real visual representation? I'm not entirely sure. Electricity moves in weird ways. Next is electron cloud. 2 words, noun from 1926. The system of electrons surrounding the nucleus of an atom. Okay, it's a cloud. So if it's a bigger atom that has a bunch of electrons, they just live in this cloud. Are they going around? Are they zipping through? Are they bumping into each other? Are they moving together? But I guess it's like a cloud of electrons or something. Maybe we can find a more realistic representation of that and put that on social media. Electronegative. 1 word, adjective, from 1813. Having a tendency to attract electrons. Electronegativity is a noun. Having a tendency to attract electrons. Well, they are negatively charged, right? That's what we learned. Yes, it has negative electricity. And so I guess the electronegative would be this. What? How do you attract electrons? Do you have to be positively charged to attract electrons? Or extra? I don't know. I don't understand this stuff. Electron gas. This is when I fart and my butt gets electrocuted. Electron gas. No, it's not. Noun from circa 1929. A population of free electrons in a vacuum or in a metallic conductor. We're free, these electrons. We're not stuck to an atom or a nucleus, a proton, a neutron. We are free. Free in a vacuum or a metallic conductor, and all of them together is electron gas. Similar to a cloud, maybe, except the cloud, I guess, is on the atom, and the gas is just gas. Gas just fills up the space that it's in. Man, I wish I understood this stuff better. I just don't got the time to study it. Next is electron gun. 2 words, noun from 1924. You can see, electron cloud, 1926. Electron gas is 1929. Electron gun is 1924. There was a lot going on in that time period with electrons. Probably other things too. This is an electron-emitting cathode and its surrounding assembly for directing, controlling, and focusing a beam of electrons. I think putting the word gun in there might not have been the best idea. Makes it sound like it's one thing when it's not really that thing. Electron gun, I mean, it's shooting them out, I guess. It directs them, controls them, focuses a beam of electrons. Man, people are so smart coming up with how to do these things still baffles the mind. The example, the assembly, the surrounding assembly of this cathode is electromagnets in a cathode ray tube. So you got a cathode ray tube, and you put some electromagnets in there, and then you got a cathode on the outside, I guess, and then it pew 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 pew. It's shooting electrons. If you're watching this on Patreon, I'm shooting electrons in your eyeballs. Next is electronic, adjective from 1902. Electronic, everything's electronic. Number 1, of or relating to electrons. 2A, of, relating to, or utilizing devices constructed or working by the methods or principles of electronics. Electronic is about the principles of electronics, as in electronic fuel injection. 2B, implemented on or by means of a computer, or also just involving a computer, as in electronic banking. This is not banking by hand. This is where electronics are used, computers, the internet, digital things. 3A, generating musical tones by electronic means, as in an electronic organ. It's not an electric organ, which is a piece of tissue in a living thing. An electronic organ. Boo-ba-doo-doo-boo-ba-doo-ba-doo-boo-boo. That's musical tones. Here's 3B, of, relating to, or being music that consists of sounds electronically generated or modified. Synthesizers, electric guitars and basses and violins. Maybe putting a microphone on something that's acoustic, like a saxophone or a flute. What other electronic things can electrify anything? 4, of, relating to, or being a medium like television, by which information is transmitted electronically, like what you're listening to, possibly watching. Everything that we do these days is electronic. As in electronic journalism. You're putting your articles up on the internet or other digital electronic places for people to read. Electronically is an adverb. There is no etymology for that. I think it's pretty obvious. It's just, the old etymology we read many episodes ago with electric. I guess that's the first one. Next is electronica. Noun from 1994. This is dance music featuring extensive use of synthesizers, electronic percussion, and samples of recorded music or sound. This is probably from the phrase New Electronica, which is a recording label of the British firm Beechwood Music Limited. So I guess, their recording label called New Electronica, and that was the music that they made. And then it just got shortened to Electronica. Electronica, Electronica. I don't know how to make electronica music, but I think it would be really fun. You can turn this into electronica music. Sample it, synthesize it, electronic percussion it. Okay, it's fun music. Electronic countermeasure is next. 2 words, noun from 1962. The disruption of the operation of an enemy's equipment, as by jamming radio or radar signals. We've been jammed. Countermeasure. So yes, you're countering. If they're coming at you, you got to counter with something. You want to jam their signals. Well, 1962. Could we not do this before then? Like in World War II, were we not able to electronically jam signals, radio stuff? How can you not think of Spaceballs, that scene where they got jammed? I think it's strawberry jam. Last word. Electronic mail. 2 words, noun from 1975, and the synonym is of course email. That's it. We talked about that before. Everybody uses. Wait, did we talk about that? No, we didn't. Email, that's going to be coming up, isn't it? Oh, my fingers aren't working. Let's see, because, I feel like email came up at another time, but maybe I am mistaken. There was something. Oh, yeah, email's going to be coming up in a few pages. So, can't talk about that at all. They take email off the table. What were the words in today's episode? We had electrometallurgy, electrometer, electromotive force, electromyogram, electromyograph, electron, electron cloud, electronegative, electron gas, electron gun, electronic, electronica, electronic countermeasure, and electronic mail. Well, maybe electronica? Let's see. What are some other fun words? I like that the electromyograph exists so we can figure out what's going on in people's muscles. I want to hear what that sounds like. I don't know. Let's just pick electronica. I already sang a song, but maybe I can do another one. You need a beat, right? You need a beat. Electronica is music that's electric. I can't do anything actually electric except for the fact that you're listening to this through electricity. But that's all I got. I got no tools. I got no instruments. I would love to do that looping thing someday, but I haven't gotten around to that. I do have a fun electronic toy over there that's probably, batteries are probably dead, and I haven't used it in a while, but maybe someday. Electronica. All right, that's the end of the word part of the episode, and now we will get into the movie part of the episode. I will never run out of movies. We watched Barbie again. This would be the 3rd time that we watched Barbie. Is there anything new that I can say about this movie that I haven't said already, other than go see it if you haven't seen it? It's fantastic. I think I mentioned look at the background actors. If you're watching it for like the 2nd time or more, make sure to look at a lot of the people in the background because you're going to notice some really funny stuff. I've seen some behind the scenes videos recently. They showed her fridge, and in there is like cow milk. I think there's like hemp milk, almond milk. There's like 4 different kinds. I appreciate the detail that they put into that. Of course, we are obsessed with the "I'm Just Ken" song, and it's just so silly and funny. What else? I think we're actually going to go see this movie again tomorrow with a friend who has not seen it, and we're trying to get everybody to see it, and she doesn't like to go to movies alone, and so, we're like, all right, fine, we'll go see Barbie for a 4th time just to get you to see it. That's all I got to say to you today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.